scary skeletons. We have them, Chris and I, we have skeletons on the inside of our skin.
Yep.
Yep.
Mine's
Halloween
bigger than
week.
yours, but just a little.
Just a little, yeah. It's Halloween week, everyone. Time of recording this. It is Monday, October. Make sure I get the date right. 27th.
Yep.
Happy Halloween. Well, if we're going to do Halloween, we need to do Halloween. Right?
That's
Classic
true.
OTC style. Oh, man, this thing updated. It's going to be bad. There it is.
All right. It's been a while.
There it is. It's the Halloween season. Do I get the Halloween voice going too?
If you must.
It's Halloween season here at OTC. Outside the cinema. Your source for cult movie discussions.
That's pretty good.
That's good.
Not bad.
That's good.
Not bad. Happy Halloween, everyone. How you doing? Do you have big plans for Halloween?
I don't know what we're doing yet, but I have something to wear, so I'm good.
I have a tambourine and a bucket hat and a parka.
Okay.
So I'll be being Liam Gallagher for this Halloween
Okay.
So.
The sober version, I assume.
Well, he's been sober for a long time.
Well, right, but there was a drunk version at one point. Right?
Yeah. I don't know if he's like sober, but I know he doesn't he's not the mess that he used to be.
Ah. Okay, that's good.
But on the show
Always
this
good.
week, because it is Halloween week, Chris was like, "Hey, let's do a couple of new movies."
Yeah.
And we
why not?
did. And I'm actually really glad that you did because I am behind on watching stuff from this year. So,
Oh, that's not what I was thinking at all.
no, let's do something special for the show. Give the guys a couple of new reviews because we don't do that ever. We don't do
Yeah,
that
and
the
there's
entire-
movies I haven't been able to watch.
We don't do that for the entire month of December usually.
No.
No, but it's good because these are actually both films that I've been really looking forward to seeing and just hadn't been able to watch them yet for one reason or another, mostly because I watched bad documentaries all the time. Did you watch The Perfect Neighbor?
I haven't been able to
Okay.
yet.
We
We've
got to
been
talk
going
about
through.
that when you do.
Yeah, I'll have that for next week. But we've Ellen said she doesn't remember or hadn't seen Halloween 2.
Oh,
so we started that. We did that one last night, and the night before, and then last night we got through half of 3. So we're gonna go through as many of the Halloween as possible.
Nice.
Just because it's been a long time. I remember we watched H2O when that came out, and we're like, what the fuck happened here? So watching them all at once, I think, I consider in a month all at once.
That's fair. That's fair.
Then, I don't know. It'll be interesting to track it because, Michael Myers, but I'm not 100%.
Are you talking the original set prior to Zombie and then the new?
Oh, yeah. No, we started with, because we watched Halloween, the first one last year, so we started with 2. The 81, that's the year it was, right?
The part 2?
Yeah. Yeah, we're starting chronologically from
80,
the
I think it was
first
80.
release date. Yeah. I don't know if we'll do the zombie ones or not. There's other stuff we want to watch.
I
don't mind them. I'm not that person anymore.
I think they're probably better than that. Was it the green? What's his name? David Out? No, what? The guy that did the
Gordon Green.
Gordon Green.
Something.
Yeah, David Gordon Green.
Yeah.
Is that right? No, that's David Allen Thornton. I don't know. It doesn't
I
matter.
don't know.
Whatever. The newer ones, I call them the Peacock Halloween movies because that's where they all went to watch.
Okay.
I didn't like really any of those.
I didn't mind them, but the third one was weird.
Halloween
with the
Kills was
pseudo,
or Halloween Ends.
yeah,
right?
with the pseudo protege that never paid off. I didn't like that. I did like the definitive end of the series though. That was definitive. I'll give him that. You can't come back from that thing.
I watched with Travis the other night because he's actually finally he's 14 and now he's starting to get into watching horror films. So we watched
good.
Friday the 13th, 2009
Yep.
reboot, which I don't think I had watched since. I know I saw it in the theater.
2009.
Yeah, well, seriously,
Yeah.
I know I saw it in the theater, and then I think
Yep.
I watched it once when it came out on Blu-ray.
Yeah, that sounds right. Yeah.
And I hadn't watched it since. And
Yeah.
not bad.
No, the
held
only
up pretty
difference
good.
in that one is they give you real dickheads that you want to see die.
Mm-hmm.
Other
They
than
very
that,
much do.
that's the only difference. I mean, well, Jason X gives you some dickheads, but overall the people are well-meaning. So,
Yeah, it was fine. It was fine.
yeah, good. I'm glad he's getting into it.
Yeah, he's watched the first Scream now a couple times. He really likes that.
Nice.
He liked the Black Phone a lot.
Oh, that one was.
So he's so Travis is a freshman this year, and he is taking a film class.
Oh, nice.
And so their project for the first quarter was to recreate a horror movie trailer. And it had to be a modern trailer. So I was like, dude, I got to hook you up with some good shit. And he's like, no, Dad, it has to be like a modern one. So they did the Black Phone. So they remade the Black Phone trailer. And it's fucking adorable.
Nice.
And I'm like, what are they letting you guys use for cameras? He's like, we have to use our phones.
Oh, okay.
I'm like, all right.
That's fair. I mean, then it's all on everybody. They won't lose it.
Right.
So.
Yeah. And it's also a thing where they know just about every kid has a phone. So it was one of those things where the teacher was like, they don't want anyone spending money.
Right. So everybody team up with somebody that has a phone.
Yeah.
Just to be sure.
Yeah. So they did like groups of 3 or 4 kids, and they did that, and it's exactly what you would think from like a freshman introduction to filmmaking thing.
Okay.
But it's fun. Like you can tell they're having a good time making it, and they do this thing at the high school called Fright Night, which is Wednesday night they do it, where they show all of them. And then they show the kids that are later on in the program, they show their short films and stuff. So pretty excited about it. It's pretty good. It's pretty cool.
Nice. Very nice.
Okay. Oh yeah. Well, so we're covering Sinners, and we're covering 28 Years Later this week. We're doing reviews of both of those.
Yes.
And we should probably get into it, because I think whenever we do the newer movies, I always feel like our reviews tend to be a little more long-winded.
Yeah.
Maybe
I don't have to be. I don't have to be this week.
Okay. Do you care which one we start with?
No, not at all.
All right. So whichever one I open up here on the list will be the first one. And that would be Sinners.
All right.
2025. Ryan Coogler. Here's the trailer.
We've been gone a long time. We back now. You twins? Nah, we cousins.
There are legends of people with the gift of making music so true. It can conjure spirits from the past and the future. This gift can bring fame and fortune.
Will somebody take me in your eyes?
But it also can pierce the veil between life and death.
Listen here, this ain't no house party. Shit. Y'all ready to drink? Y'all ready to sweat till y'all stink?
You want some?
You keep dancing with the devil.
Careful, boy. You gonna bite off more than you can chew.
One day he's gonna follow you home. We got us a problem, y'all. What the hell going on?
Oh, we heard tale of a party. This world already left you for dead. I can save you from your fate.
You don't need no saving.
Yes, you do.
And you are?
I am your way out. Don't cry. It's all better now.
Yes, I lied to you. I don't believe in magic. Ghosts, demons. Just power.
Somebody please take me.
We're gonna kill every last one of you.
Hey, I ain't mean to scare you. Thought y'all done forgot about me in here. Come on, open the door, let on out of here. Stay. It's you?
course it's me. Open the door.
That ain't your brother.
Lie to you.
Yo, man, only thing. I think I shot myself.
All right, Sinners. Whew, okay. Directed and written by Ryan Coogler, best known as the director of Black Panther. And he also, I mean, let's talk about him for just a second here. He has really come on in the last few years. Sinners is being his most recent release, but he really hit with Black Panther, following up on Creed. He was the guy that did Creed.
Creed.
And the Creed trilogy is excellent.
That's good because I haven't watched them.
They're really solid. The second one, the weakest of the three.
Okay. But everybody loved 3 from what I heard.
3 was great. 3 was a great way to end that kind of the trilogy before they moved on to whatever, if they decide to do anything else in that the Rocky world. But yeah, he's a filmmaker that kind of specializes in, I don't want to say African American stories, because that I feel like that is really gonna sound like I'm limiting what he's done. But he has taken,
he takes stories that are related to him and his interests.
Yes.
Right. I mean, that's kind of how it is. Usually, white authors write white characters, and Spanish speaking ones would write ones from there. It's just how it is.
Yeah.
Right.
But I don't want to make it seem like he's only an African American filmmaker.
No. But he's
incredibly talented.
He's. I would say after this, I would see him as a filmmaker. I'm not talking story or anything, just visual and the performances he gets out of the actresses. Like him and Jordan Peele are neck and neck there for me. They're fantastic. Black Panther was a good movie, but this was also a good looking movie.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Yeah.
I do want to say I'm glad you brought up Jordan Peele, because when I first saw the trailer for this, and that trailer we just played gives away way too much.
I didn't watch any trailers before I saw this, actually.
So I had seen the trailer for this before something at the theater, and I immediately thought, I was like, oh, so they got Ryan Coogler doing an elevated African-American casted horror film.
Yeah.
And man, did I was selling it short. I'm not saying it's a perfect film, or anything like that. But
no, but he makes the elements work.
And he's giving guys like Michael B. Jordan leads in films like this, whereas, even 10, 15 years ago, they recast this with somebody else. You know what I mean?
Oh, yeah.
And Michael B. Jordan, we've seen him in a number. I mean, he was obviously Creed in Creed. And just so everyone knows, Ryan Coogler only directed the first Creed movie. He was, I think, an executive producer on the second two, but he was the director and writer of that. But Michael B. Jordan's a force on screen. I think we can agree there. He might be the best thing about Black Panther.
His most boring performance to me was as Killmonger in Black Panther, and he was still pretty intense.
I thought he was awesome.
Wait, wasn't he in that dumb Fantastic Four movie? He was the Thing, right?
I don't know, actually. I didn't see it.
I thought he was. I saw that, unfortunately. But that would be the worst movie he's been in.
Let's see here. Obviously, the Creed movies. What year was that?
15? Was it 2015? Yeah, 2015. Yeah. Oh, he was Human Torch. Shows you how much I paid attention to it.
Oh, yeah. I remember people were like, the Human Torch can be a black guy.
Yeah, no, fuck you. It doesn't matter. He's on fire.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Literally doesn't matter.
You know who shouldn't be superhero character actors, though?
Who?
Miles Teller and Kate Mara. I don't like Miles Teller for some reason. He's got that Carter Burke thing going on screen.
Okay. Yeah, I see.
I want to fucking choke him, but he's
I'm not a fan.
probably an
Not a
okay
fan.
dude.
I got no problems with Kate Mara.
She's come a long way since this one. She was in Fantastic Four. She was like set dressing.
Yeah.
Was
All right, so
bad.
Sinners, Michael B. Jordan plays your two main leads, Smoke and Stack. They're two twin brothers. He plays both roles.
Yes, contrary to the trailer and what they say,
Yeah.
they are not cousins.
They are not cousins. They are twin brothers.
They're just fucking with the clan.
How awesome was it to see Delroy Lindo again, too? I
said out loud, holy shit, there's my man Delroy Lindo. I haven't seen him in a long time.
love Delroy Lindo.
Yeah.
Haley Steinfeld is the sole white female in the lead areas.
I didn't recognize her at all.
Do you know her? Do you know
Oh yeah. Kate Bishop and the girl in Bumblebee, and she does the voice of Spider-Gwen.
Yep,
And
okay,
it
cool.
took me until the end when they changed time periods for me to be like, oh shit, that was her. I forgot she was in this. She's fantastic.
She was in Hawkeye too. She was
Yeah, the Kate Bishop role, right?
Yeah. So you said
And this, yeah, I didn't name the show. I named the character, but this is gonna be like a watershed moment for her acting career. I think I'm not shocked, but this movie had fantastic acting, and Haley did unbelievable.
The whole cast.
I didn't even know it was her.
The whole cast was great. The whole cast.
Yeah.
Miles Canton, Saul Williams, Jack O'Connell.
Oh, and our main guy, Scarface there. First acting job.
Yeah, right. Yeah, play
Fucking
Sammy.
Cool. Good job. Jesus
Miles
Christ.
Canton, he's unbelievable.
And his voice. Oh, he's got a great voice.
So
Just the speaking voice is great.
yeah, he's got that deep voice with the southern drawl.
Yeah, it doesn't look like it's going to come out of him, but when he sings, it's perfect. There are all of the elements that lead up to what's going on, like all the pre-production stuff. I would say just fucking spot on. Absolutely perfect with all of it.
So the two twin brothers, played by Michael B. Jordan, have gone and moved away from their home in Mississippi, and they go up to Chicago. They are known to get themselves in some trouble and do some scandalous things, and then they return to their hometown where they want to open up a juke joint, which is blues club essentially.
Yeah.
And they've come back to their cousin Sammy, who's the guy with the deep voice that sings and plays guitar. His dad's a preacher. He's known as Preacher Boy Sammy. And they go and they pick up their friends, and they make a purchase on this old barn from a white guy, from the most stereotypical white Southern guy from what year was this supposed to be?
This was 32 or something like that. It was in the 30s. So yeah, we're talking like Boss Hogg, Doc Hopper kind of shit here. Absolutely. Just white suit, sweaty in the South, wear them Duke boys, that whole thing. Yeah.
Wear them Duke
He looked
boys.
good. He fit perfect.
Played the part perfectly, yeah. And they say to him, they go, "Hey, listen, we pay you for this place. It's ours.
Yeah.
We don't see you again. You don't come around here with your clan boys trying to take the thing back.
Yeah, or get more money from us. I like that.
Get more money. Yep, get more money from us. Try to shake us down. It's done." And he's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
the clan ain't around anymore." And you obviously know that's not. I'm like, dude, it's 1930s Southern states. Yeah. So, but that
say whatever you want. It's
but
fine.
that
We know.
scene at the beginning ends up being very important. And I will say that at this point, we're not gonna be able to hold back spoilers on this as we go through.
No.
So if you haven't seen it yet and you don't want any of this spoil, and I recommend actually trying to watch this with as little, knowing as little as possible going in.
Yeah. So go back and don't listen to that trailer.
You can pretend that you didn't hear. Although if you didn't see the trailer, if you're just listening to the show and you're not watching it, you
It would be
probably won't.
harder. Yeah.
But
Okay.
an element of surprise in this is probably going to work better for it. With that said, moving on. So they purchase the place. They go into all their old haunts and finding all their old friends. They're going to get, Delroy Lindo is going to come and play blues for them because he's a big time blues player, legendary guy. The woman that one of them used to date is the best cook in the area. And they just go about their day, gathering their friends, gathering their family. We're opening this juke joint. We're going to open it up tonight. We're going to have food. We're going to have drinks. We're going to have music, and we're going to celebrate. And we're going to have a good time.
Yeah.
And it comes across in this way of oh, this sounds like it's going to be awesome, but there's no way it's going to go well.
Yeah. Also, the way that Smoke and Stack act, I didn't trust their motivation at all.
And each of them kind of had their own motivations.
Yeah.
One of them wants to give back to the community and have a good place, have a great place and a good time for people to come and get away from, because we're talking 1930s South. We're talking, cotton picking in the fields and like what's left of, because you got Jim Crow going on this time, and segregation is a monster thing down, not even just down there in the entire country. It was still a big thing. Where prior to
it
all
went
that,
from slavery to sharecropping. I noticed they had said, so it's sort of like you're a paid slave. You sort of own the land. Sharecropping's a weird thing. It's like this in between slavery and hiring employees kind of territory. It's odd.
And that all changed when the Jim Crow laws were taken off the books. I mean, that's just what it is.
Yeah.
So you have to put yourself in the mindset of where you are, what the time period is, what the quote unquote rules are. Because it really sets what this film is, because what Ryan Coogler does in this, and what he really has done, he did in Black Panther, not so much in Creed, but a little bit of, that systematic racism, class system situation that's happening down there. This film, and it sounds, we've said it before, we've said it about a bunch of things, but this film is like an onion with like layers. As you kind of start to pull back layers, you start to pull back the meaning of things, the symbolism of different things. It all, I mean, we could talk about this movie probably for 2 hours on its own if we really wanted to, because it's got that much depth to it. But for the sake of both of us, my sanity and your sanity and the listener's sanity, we're not going to do that. We'll peel back some of the more interesting ones, but we're not going to go fully deep in it. So they get together everything. They get the money, they get the food, they go to the Chinese grocer that has all the, the vegetables and the catfish and the stuff that they need to make the food, and he works with them. And you can tell that a lot of people like and respect these guys for their hustle.
Yeah.
And they know that, they might do some shady shit, but at the same time, they're going to pay us legitimately. They're going to, do their best and you can see that they take care of their family and they take care of their friends, and they're only there's a scene at the beginning when he stops at the grocer to get, put the order in for the food. And he takes a little girl that's sitting there and he's like, hey, listen, I got all this equipment in the truck. I will pay you 10 cents a minute, sit in this truck and make sure nobody takes anything. And if anyone comes over and spends too much time looking, you hit this horn and I'll come and I'll help you. But then he does this thing where he's like, does that sound good to you? And she's like, yep. And he's like, no. This is where we're supposed to negotiate.
Yeah. So
I tell you 10 cents.
Yeah.
You come back and you ask more and we negotiate to a price, you see? And she's like, all right. She's like 50 cents. And he's like, how about 20? And then she's like, all right, that sounds good.
Yeah. I mean, but it's the start. It's learned.
Great. It's great.
Yeah. And it really is them looking out for the other people because they've been taken advantage of and they don't want it to happen to other people. Right. I like that.
Yeah. And then someone messes with the stuff. She hits the horn. He comes out and just shoots the guy in the leg.
Yeah.
And then realizes it's somebody he knows.
But then after that, he shoots the other guy.
Yeah. He shoots the other guy and says, I can't let anyone thinking you were getting one over on the twins.
Yeah.
But then he pays to have the doctor come and patch him up because he knew them.
Yeah. It's weird. It's not a system of friendship and reciprocity that I know.
Nope.
But it works in the movie.
But it really sets this groundwork and lays down the level that these people care for each other, which makes what happens in the second half of the film so much more effective.
Yeah.
Is it works. So they get everything together, they build up and so this movie has a lot to do and a lot in common, I think, with From Dusk Till Dawn, where
I mean, on the surface, absolutely. Yeah,
on surface, purely on surface. And it's 2 hour and 10 minute runtime. The first 45 minutes, there is no supernatural, no vampire, because this is a vampire film. There's no vampires. There's none of that even barely hinted at.
Right.
All we get is that introduction voiceover at the beginning, which you heard in the trailer, where they talk a bit about how certain people are blessed with this gift of music that can open things up and, you know, transcend space and time, but it also brings evil.
Yeah, because it pierces the veil.
Yeah, and that's a very important thing when we get to the final third of the film.
Yeah, and when you watch this, I just want to make sure my internet was okay. Wait, what was the other movie we watched?
We watched Sinners and we watched 28 Years Later.
Oh, never mind. It's that one. It was an editing choice that I got confused because there's a lot of people and blood in both movies. So,
yeah, we'll talk about that. Don't worry. We'll get there.
Yeah. But this one, it goes into the symbolic and the fantastic and the surreal. And it's like, it worked. It shouldn't have. Like, we're spoiler, like.
Yeah, before you get into this part, because I have a lot to say about this part, because I know exactly where you're going. Hold it for 1 sec for me. So they get everything together. They tell everyone about the juke joint. They get, you know, a bunch of people come down are having a good time. Everything is off and going. And we get some performances, and this is where we get Preacher Boy Sammy, who is now kind of macking on a girl. Questionable because she tells him, hey, I'm married. But apparently none of that matters.
Yeah. Okay. Well, good for you.
He's like, okay, baby, that's fine.
But none of the people cared about any of the married women. They just were interested in the women they were interested in.
Right. So it's kind of I think that kind of tries to set a little bit of a tone for what's happening here.
Yeah. It's weird because the twins are sort of like, I'll help you out if you're nice to me. But they're also like, I got mine. Fuck you.
Right.
But not to the point where it would hurt the people they care about. So I don't say this often because I hate it, but they are complicated characters.
Way deeper than you would ever think they would be.
Yeah. Yeah. Because honestly,
Steinfeld's character too is the perfect example of that, because she's still pining for one of the twins who kind of like up and left her. And then she got married to a white guy, and she's like, I didn't want to marry a white guy. I wanted to marry you. And like, so you know that she's unhappy.
Yeah.
In her life, and what is kind of befallen to her after the twins are really kind of the center of this universe, whereas because they were so involved in everything and so integral that when they up and left, it left people like trying to figure out what they were going to do. And I can't remember which one was which, but whichever one was with the woman that was the cook that they lost a child. It's this small little thing that they throw in there at first that you're kind of like, okay, well, I don't, this, like, okay, that's sad. You're adding some character development here, but why is it going to matter? And then it ends up being fucking huge later in the film, where it's just like, oh yeah, he had a baby with this girl and the baby passed away. And then, he moved off and she was left to kind of fend with what it is.
Yeah.
But you can see that she hasn't moved on yet. And I think the casting of that character, what was her name? Was it Ruthie?
I don't remember.
But the actress that played that role, I think it was Ruthie, if I'm not mistaken. Let me double check here and just make sure I don't want to get this wrong. Yes.
Okay. Good.
No? I don't know. Either way.
All right, while you're doing that, I'll look.
This is going to sound, I'm going to try to make it sound so I'm not like I'm not body shaming or anything like that, but she's a bigger girl.
No, she's shaped like how you would want your cook to be shaped.
And she's still gorgeous. She's gorgeous. Don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
But like, I loved that they used like what a real woman looks like. And
she's a normal person.
Still just like, nah, man, I'm into this. And she's so good, and she plays the kind of the voodoo. She knows a lot about voodoo and knows a lot about, because you're deep south here. Voodoo and haints and like all of that stuff is all in play here. And she's
absolutely
so fucking good.
Yeah. You know who she reminded me of? The character that she reminded me of? Who? Do you remember the older African American lady in Demon Knight?
Yes.
She reminded me of her, and not just because of like the situation, but like they were both really good, and like almost out of place in a horror movie because they're really good actresses.
No, definitely. And there's this one scene, and I never really we don't talk, like, we mention when there's sex scenes in films, but like, we don't really kind of like talk about them. But there's this one part when the two of them are kind of like talking, and he's like trying to get the food, and like, we learn that she mothered a child of his that passed away, and they start to like talk, and they start to get like, you know, all right, well, maybe there's a little something here, because he can tell that he's still pining for her, and she grabs him in the crotch, and she says, I don't have the exact line, but she says something along the lines of, "Oh, your body still remembers me."
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh shit. I'm like, this is fucking awesome. This is hot as fucking hell. I'm like, this is great.
That was
never get excited when there's going to be like, and they don't show mine. It's not like there's no nudity, right? There's whatever the two.
Oh, there is no. There's a lot
like,
of hinted at sex. But no nudity.
Way hotter than like big titted, fake tit blonde chick getting railed in a fucking Hollywood-esque movie or whatever. Like, because it just like you get the connection because of the lost child, and then you get the feel between the two of them. They both kind of air their grievances with each other, and they're like, yeah, but there's still something here.
Yeah, because obviously there will be, and it's the tragedy that split you apart, not the fact that you fell out of love. So yeah, that's a tough thing. There's a lot of good movies have characters in that situation where they lose a kid, and it changes them, and they have to overcome it and become stronger. And it's honestly one of the most consistent, largest nightmares I have.
Oh, for sure. I agree. Me too.
Yeah.
Me too. Okay, so they got their whole crew together. They're the night's going good. They got a bunch of people there. People are paying. A little bit of discourse between the twins, because of course one twin is like, hey, we need to make as much money as possible. So if somebody can't pay, we got to boot their ass out. And the other guy's like, whoa. I can hold on a second here. Like, these are our people. Right, we got to build something here.
Yeah. Which then leads to, do we let these people in with money?
Right. So the music in this movie is fucking on another level.
I loved it.
Sammy, I'm not a really big blues guy. I like Delta blues. Like, and that's what a lot of this is, but the way they mix it together with like electronic and hip hop and like some rock and roll, electric guitar, like, so there's this scene which we keep getting and we get into, and it's a very divisive scene I find from people, because it's edited in a kind of a weird way, but you got to remember what the point of the film is, going back to that quote from the beginning of how some people are gifted in song and are so gifted that they transcend.
Yeah.
Planes.
They become magicians. Yeah.
So
wizards, whatever you want to call it. Bruja. Griot is what he was called. A griot or a griot. Yeah.
So Sammy gets up there with Delroy Lindo, and he starts playing his song, and it starts off as just this really fucking sick blues song. And then it starts to shift, and then a guy with an electric guitar appears, and then like break dancers and hip hop people appear, and a DJ's like, and the way they do it, and they keep spinning the camera to give it this kind of, it's not a continuous shot because obviously so much of it is done in post, but like it keeps spinning and it keeps getting bigger, and the voiceover comes in, and they talk about how it transcends time and transcends place and it transcends sound, all of these things, and it just keeps opening up, and then the building starts burning down around them. And I know you got some stuff to say about this.
Go ahead.
All I'm going to say is this is one of, if not the best scene I've seen in a film in a very, very long time. It is so effective, and it works so well. And I can understand why people wouldn't like it. And if I remember, Scott in his review was kind of like jarred by it. He's like, it works, but it's kind of.
Oh, I think for people that don't know it, haven't experienced it or anything, it can be jarring. But when we listen to music too, if you were to set it up, like if I'm listening to something new, then that's going to be informed by all of the other stuff that I like, going back to friggin' Beethoven, because a lot of metal's based off classical music for some reason, in the 80s at least.
Everything's based off of classical music at the end of the day.
That is true. That is true. But it's their stuff. You have your Prince / Bootsy Collins guy going on there, which that was jarring.
Too, yeah.
Yeah, that was jarring for a second, and then I'm like, I remember what they said. it's a number of things, because it's the stuff in the past is who they are. It's what they're going to become. Part of, culturally, they'll bring that stuff in. Fuck, I had a good point and I forgot what it was. So yeah, it can be jarring, but then when you remember it, you're like, oh yeah, okay, so yeah, that the blues informed this type of music and they learned from this. And this is where it ties in, I think, to the second part of the movie, is that it's their entire culture in this one person's head, because he is, as a griot, he's not a supernatural storyteller, but he can pierce the veil, I guess, is what we're going with. And that's what was happening, because it was so intense. And you give people visions, or you have the visions or something. I'm not 100% sure. But it definitely was some magic in that room.
Absolutely. And it looks incredible.
It
looks incredible.
There's traditional outfits too. And I don't mean this to sound insulting, but I do not know enough to talk about like looks of individual tribes or
like the African culture.
Yeah. It reminded me a lot of, and this is my first experience seeing traditional stuff, so everybody forgive me. There's a song on the Muppet Show with Harry Belafonte, "Turn the World Around," and I think it's one of the best Muppet performances also that I've ever seen in my life. I was probably 8 years old when I saw it, and it was talking about how we're all from the same place. We're going to go back to the same place, and we can make the world good for everybody. And that was a life-changing song. And they had people dressed like they made traditional African representations of their dancers and magicians and stuff. Magician sounds like I'm insulting them, but I don't know what other word to use.
No, I don't think it's insulting.
And they are, outside of the Dark Crystal, my favorite Muppets. And that helped me as a white Irish person, which will be important later.
Yeah. Yeah.
It just, it opened it up, and it's got me since I was 8 thinking about, how other people live, what their experience is, how they see. So I guess I was open for it, but it was nice to see traditional stuff that I personally recognized. I mean, it would have been nice anyway, but like I could see it and be like, okay, I understand what's going on here. If I had watched this 35 years ago, I probably would have been just like, cool blood.
Right. Yeah. It's that scene is just the scene is incredible. It's unreal.
At first I didn't like it, but the more it went on and the more intense it got, the more I got into it, because the music going with it is fantastic.
It's just like that first moment where he's playing, and then all of a sudden like the electric guitar comes in and the guy's dressed up all glammy. You're like, what the fuck? But then like they show the DJ and he starts record scratch. I'm like, okay, I see what we're doing here. Like, I'm on board.
If for musically illiterate people, and that's not an insult, some people
just aren't into music. It's just, that's fine.
Yeah, but what they do is they show you how the blues transitioned into that other stuff, like visually and audibly, seeing like, this is it. This is what we've done. This is what our people in the South did. It's almost like bragging rights. And I say, take as much bragging rights as you want with this. You did that. You created that style of music. I mean, we helped by enslaving people to give them the blues, but that's a joke, everybody. That's a joke. I would be fine without the blues if it meant no slavery. Okay.
I would prefer there have not been slavery. I enjoy the blues. Don't get me wrong, but
yeah. But I forget what I was saying. Oh yeah, no. So that's their whole history. That's in that one song. So that's what the movie was trying to say. That's the whole point.
But as they said in the opening voiceover, is that unfortunately this also can bring in evil. And now at this point we've met Remick, who shows up at a house burning in the sun. So you know what's going on. But he's like, these people, these Native Americans are trying to kill me. Or he says Indians. trying to kill me.
Yeah, what were they?
Chickasaw, I think is what they were.
Yeah, Choctaw maybe. I'm not sure.
Either way,
anyway,
he goes to these two white folks that live in this house, and he's like, they're trying to kill me. I need your help. Blah blah blah. Please invite me in. Blah. So he goes in, and then the Indians show up.
Is the Mississippi band of the Choctaw Indians?
Choctaw. Okay.
Yep.
So the Indians then the Native Americans then show up, and are like, hey, listen, if that guy came to this house, he's not what you think he is.
Yeah.
You need, is he in the house? We need to help. We need to fix this. And she's like, nope. Blah 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 blah. But then they notice the sun's going down, and the Native Americans are like, it's getting late. We gotta go. Bye.
Yeah.
Which is pretty much exactly what happens.
Well, they're not dumb.
Nope. Well, and we know they're hunting this guy. So
yeah. And what's really awesome is this movie gave us something that I don't think I've ever seen before. Like, I'll call it turn of the century just to make it easier.
Sure.
But like, it's not Peter Cushing as a vampire hunter. It's this band of Choctaw Indians that are that are hunting them down. And it's great because you don't know it at first. And then when it's too late, you're like, oh,
yeah,
fuck, that's Van Helsing. All right. Not really, but
no, but
Van Helsing's shorthand for vampire hunter anyway.
So,
but they look good. I like their look. I mean, it was probably their normal clothes, but I always like that the hat with the flat round brim and the big dome that sticks up off top. And I don't know. I always thought the Native American stuff wore our clothes better than we did.
I agree. So, obviously, she goes back in to talk to the husband, and now your boy Remick has already eaten the husband, and we get a look. He's got the long fingers. He's got not the traditional fangs, but all his teeth are pointy and the eyes. Yeah. And he's just like, oh, he's fine now. Don't worry. So we know that he's turning them.
Oh, yeah. But real quick note here. The fingers is a beautiful touch that I don't see as often as I should.
Agreed.
Subspecies did it really well. Or Sing wasn't a vampire, but she had, what's that?
Of all films, Subspecies is the one that did it well.
Well, that's what I remember.
No, it's fine. No, I get it.
But long fingers can look stupid if you don't do it right because all of your knuckles bend except the last one on the finger. Come on. Yeah. But these worked, and they were weapons. They weren't just like to intimidate people. It's a key part
the sharp nails
of something. And it was like claws. It wasn't like just sharpened, hardened fingernails. It was like the whole tip of his finger was calloused and hard and stuff. And that was nice. And they made him dangerous.
Yeah. So he's turned them, and during the big musical scene, when we see that, time and space and everything, nothing means anything anymore because his performance is just tearing down the fabric of everything. They show up because, as we heard earlier, it brings evil.
Mm-hmm.
And after the performance, they're outside, and they're basically like, can you invite us in?
Yeah.
We'd just like to play music for you. We heard the music. Yep. And again, goes back to that thing at the beginning where it draws evil. We heard the music, thought it was beautiful. We'd love to come and play some music with you guys too. And this is also another level of that onion, whereas the vampires don't care about race.
No.
There's no whether they're white, African American, Asian, that doesn't matter. They're looking to open their, and the whole thing goes back to family again too, which I know it's a weird thing to say with the vampires wanting to bring open their family up and bring more people in, but that's essentially what they're trying to do by turning more people.
You could look at it the opposite way and think they're propagating the race so they can take over the world, but still, no, they are. They're bringing in the people they want to have with them because they will kill other people.
Yeah, they're not taking everybody.
They'll keep the ones that are useful in a way. And I guess we should get into the way that people here are useful. Because this comes down to a huge cultural point that I don't think anybody can argue. The vampires, when they turn you, you sort of become not a hive mind, but a
Kind of.
consciousness across everybody. And you all know everything about the rest of your vampire kin. And what they want to do is get the blues, get it from Preacher Boy, and make it part of themselves. And
They're there
and
for him.
have that.
They heard
specifically him. Yeah.
heard the song and how it separates. And there's a point where Remick says basically, it's like, your talent, your gift, whatever, will allow me to see my family that's not here anymore. Because
And then if we
life and
look
death,
at
none of
this-
it matters.
Right. But then if you look at this from an outside symbolic view, this is first of all, this is the Irish finding another race that is they consider beneath them, so they can pick on and bully and kill and do whatever they want to.
Yeah.
But also, this is about stealing their music and their culture.
Yep.
That's all the vampires represent. I guess commercialism, not necessarily white people in general, but the need to make money off of other people.
Yeah.
And that's sort of a message that they were going for, I think, with the whole "we want your music." I mean, that was blatantly obvious, right?
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
We heard your voice. We're coming for you. We need your gift to make your gift ours.
Yeah, it's sort of like when, Elvis Presley heard Chuck Berry or whatever. And he's like, yeah, I got to do that.
I think it's when they heard Marty McFly.
Oh,
Your cousin
sorry.
Marvin.
I forgot what timeline we're in now.
That's 55. So we're a little ways off. Anyway, so there's a point where Haley Steinfeld's character goes out to be like, because they're realizing they're not making enough money and they're not going to be able to survive, and they're going to end up losing money.
And they show them the gold that they have. And at that point, it makes sense for them to ask permission to come in, because generally white Irish people don't go there. They don't go to juke joints.
Right.
So
and they say that too. At the beginning, they're like, I think you're at the wrong party.
Yeah. And what's interesting is how nice the vampires were and how standoffish everybody else was. Like, and for good reason, not to trust white people in Mississippi in the 1930s.
Again, layer after
good
layer.
on you. Yeah. Yeah. So but they didn't know that vampires were real. So they were at first just like, I don't trust these crackers.
Yeah. Yeah. They're going to bring the clan down here. What's going on? Like,
yep. Oh, they use the word peckerwood a lot more in this than cracker, which I guess was the term at the time.
Would make sense.
So
makes sense.
But the gold really divides them. And it's either gold cougar ants from Lethal Weapon 2, or it's the cursed treasure from Black Pearl. They look the same.
Actually, what it is, it's beautiful Irish-made Kerrygold butter, which brings us to the sponsor for this week. Irish's best butter, naturally soft Kerrygold. Well, actually, first of all, Kerrygold is like the best butter. But
is it?
Oh, have you ever never had it?
I don't know.
Buy a tub or a brick of it next time. It's a little more expensive, but trust me.
Okay.
Kerrygold butter on toast is like, it's a treat, man. It's not like just like butter on butter on toast or whatever. It's
okay. I do enjoy some cinnamon raisin bagels every now and then.
Oh yeah, dude, there you go. Kerrygold butter right there.
All
anyway,
right.
so they all right, so we got to move ahead. We're taking far too long.
Yeah.
So they send Haley Steinfeld's character out. She kind of realizes what's going on, and then they cut the scene. So we don't know what's going on. She comes back.
She just goes out to talk to them, just to
try to get
see if they're nice.
Yeah, they realize that they're not going to make the money, and they knew that they had the money.
Yeah.
So she's like, all right, well, I'll go talk to them, and we'll kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And we'll go there. Because there's this whole thing about how she's the only white girl there, and they're like, yeah, but she's family. We don't know you. So
right,
she goes out and thinking,
but she's a quarter from what, her father was half black is what she says. So
I think it was the grandfather was half black.
Yeah. So it's like a 16th or whatever.
Right.
And it's very narrow, but they know her. They love her. She's included. Yeah.
So she goes out because she knows that they'll trust her. But obviously things go wrong. She comes back. She shows that she's got the gold. But then this is where everything kind of changes. And obviously we know she's a vampire when she comes back. She then takes out, she took out Smoke, right?
I had a hard time once they took their hats
because they're twins
off.
and they smokestack. So either way, she lures him into the thing under the guise of the sexual intercourse, and turns him. And this is kind of where everything changes. They end up chasing her out, and now he's laying there dead with this giant wound in his neck. And that was another thing I thought was nice. It wasn't like this simple little bite mark. It was like,
with teeth like that, you got to be an animal.
You're tearing the fucking neck open. So now obviously one of the twins is dead. His brother is freaking out because of what's going on, and everything is just crazy.
Yeah.
So they're trying to figure out what to do. They realize the guy that was watching the door has been gone for a while. And what's his name? He's in a ton of stuff too. Omar Benson plays Cornbread.
He looks so familiar.
He's been in tons of things. He was in Ballers for a while. He was in 8 Mile.
Right. Yeah.
Tons of TV appearances, lots of voiceover work. Anyway, so he went out to take a piss. He got got by the vamps.
I think the problem is that he decided to pee in the middle of a field with nothing else around him.
I think the problem is that there was vampires and they were going to get him regardless.
Well, that was a weird choice, I thought.
Either way. So he comes back and they're like, shit is crazy. We don't know what's going on. It's like, he's like, all right, well, invite me in and I'll help out wherever I can. At this point, they've sent everyone home. Everyone is gone. So we know that everyone went outside and everyone is immediately jumped by the vampires. We don't see any of it, which is nice. But they grabbed everybody and turned everybody that came out of the place. The Chinese grocer, the husband of the Chinese woman, he's gone. And now, so when he comes back and they're like, wait, you've been here all day. Why do you need us to invite you in now? And he's like, it's got to be proper, man. And they're like, whoa. And Ruthie is just kind of like, wait a minute. I know the voodoo. I know the Hain. She's like, you're dead. You're not who you say you are.
Yeah.
And
a note about Haley Steinfeld.
Yep.
For real, her mother is mixed heritage, and her father was her maternal grandfather was half Filipino and half African American.
Okay.
So that sounds like a true fact that they threw in the movie.
All right. So either way, they realize the Cornbread's now turned because they go to give him money. He's like, can you at least pay me for my work for today? And they're like, all right, we'll pay you. And he grabs his hand, and we know that shit is gone at this point.
Yeah,
so,
that was. I knew it was going to happen.
Oh yeah,
I knew it was going to happen. It still startled me.
And this is such why that character development in the first hour of this film, why that is so important to how things work out here. Because when someone dies or someone's turned into a vampire in this, you generally are like, oh man, that sucks.
Yeah,
because you care about these characters. Coogler does such a good job in developing them in the limited time that you're like, oh man, I liked Cornbread. He was he seemed like a good dude that was just trying, he's got a wife at home that's pregnant. Yep. He's just trying to do the right thing for his family. Yep. And it all works so perfectly. And the way that there's that hive, that pseudo hive mind for the vampires, and they all know what each other knows, they're able to play on what exactly is going to make these people when the Chinese grocer comes back and he's like, well, you don't come out here or you don't invite us in, we're going to go back to your house. And he says the address of the house. He's like, and we're going to get your daughter. And then of course she's like, fuck no.
Oh, that woman. I love her. She was so stupid toward the end of the movie, but bold as hell.
Lee Jun Lai.
Okay.
Is her name. She was in Spider Noir, the short. She was one of the voices.
Oh.
Which I didn't actually see. Interesting. She's got a bunch of stuff here, not a lot of stuff I am super familiar with. But either way, very good. And then we kind of get to our big fight where they decide they're going to fight back. She invites them in, and all hell kind of breaks loose, and essentially fucking everybody dies.
Does she invite them in, or does she challenge them once they come in? because there's some stuff they do here with the vampire lore. They throw some of the stuff out and they use some of it, and the being invited in, like it, you don't notice it when they come up at first, when the three of them come up, because like, yeah, they're gonna ask permission to go into a place that they generally don't see people like them in. But then when Cornbread asks for permission to come back in, and they're like, you've been in and out of here all night. What's going on? And he won't answer. Like, that's good. Okay. Yeah, they are vampires. They're not haints or revenants or wraiths or anything.
Well, and Ruthie says that too. She's like, she realizes, she says these aren't haints. And haints is a term used for ghosts, essentially.
Yeah.
She's like, they're vampires.
Right. Right.
And she's like, I ain't never dealt with vampires before.
That, and I like that too. Like, you know about it in theory.
Right. I ain't never run across one.
Yeah. And they stick enough to the lore. I would say they stick to the lore about as much as Near Dark does.
Yeah.
It's that level of
enough that it works and you're not reinventing things.
Right.
But
right.
not
like
so stringent that it limits you.
Right. You get rid of the silver. You get, well, maybe not the silver. But you get rid of running water, roses, all that other stuff there, and you keep the have to be invited in sunlight and blood. Like, because religion isn't even really a part of it.
Yeah. And okay, so at this point I feel like we're and things go crazy. We'll just say that. And
yes.
I got a little worried because things got kind of slow in this like 20-minute span from when they find out the truth about the vampires to where we get to our big final standoff. And I got kind of worried, but then the final standoff actually is done really, really well too.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then there's it's not really a post-credit sequence, but they bring the credits up and then we get a very important scene during the credits, I guess. Like they stop them and give us a scene. And I don't want to give it away what it is, even though mostly because we've already been going for almost an hour. So we have another movie to talk about.
But think
it's super integral because it goes back to the family aspect of this. And what we learn is when these characters show up and we're like, why are they there? How are they there? And they do a good job of being like, oh, okay. They explain it because the character asks, how are you here? And they show it, and it goes back to family when he's like, well, why have I not seen you or whatever? And it's like, well, I made a promise. And so even though they're vampires and they're evil, they still respected the family portion of it, which goes back to the layers that this film was built. And it's super impactful.
Yeah. Yeah. It also has a bit of a Return of the King ending.
A little bit,
where you feel like it ends 3 different times, but they needed that you had to wrap that stuff up, or you got that shit hanging, and what that's not going to help anybody. That's just gonna more people would talk about the threads you left hanging than the ones you closed up. So
I just thought it really worked.
Yeah, it did. But at first, when like the whole section ends and like he gears up for something else, it's like, oh shit, yeah. And you were reminded it was never ending for African American people in the South. It was always getting ready for or being in a fight to save your life.
Yeah,
and that's great. Disgusting. Yeah.
Whoops, I'm sorry. I forgot to change the thing.
Did it turn off? All right, good. All right, Chris, do you recommend, and what is your grade for Sinners?
Yeah, I am going to recommend this. On the surface, it seems like Ryan Coogler's slumming it and making a horror movie. But you would be wrong. He is, but it's a lot more. It has a lot to say. There's no District 9 hammer in the face of symbolism because they don't dwell on it. It just happens, and it's like, there, done, good. Now you saw it, good. Here we go. And so I'm going to give this, as of today, an A-. Vampires were really good. I like that they were intelligent and scheming. How they
had an agenda. Like they had a legit agenda.
Yeah, and it wasn't anything except I want as much information and ability as I can gather. So, yeah. We could do a month of shows on this one movie.
Yeah, I agree.
So I'm going to stop here.
Okay. So I will say I'm highly recommending it. I did notice, though, kind of just after watching it, I was like, I want to see what the general consensus is. There's a large sect of film goers and film watchers that watch this that want to give it the not as good as people are saying it is. It's way overhyped. It's not as good as people want it to. And this is kind of like that opposite where we talk about like we don't watch something because everyone is fawning over it.
Yeah.
And this is a lot of people are kind of like, it's not nearly as good as fucking some people are saying it is. You know what?
Yeah.
It is.
I don't talk
good.
I don't talk to people at work that much about movies outside of what we are showing or could show. But somebody that I've gotten to know recommended this to me about a month ago. We started talking about movies and what's coming in. We showed Demon Slayer on the Dome and Jaws and stuff. And one of them said in one of the VSRs during a meeting, asked me, "Did you see Sinners?" And I said, "No, it's on my short list of stuff." And she said, "I need you to see that before next week." So now I can go back and say I saw it, and it was awful. There were too many black people.
Oh, no.
No. Sorry. That is totally without context. Here's the context. One time, a person came in to see a movie at the Lowe's Theater before it was AMC. And I want to say they went to see something like Joanna Man. Remember that movie?
You've told this story before. You're right.
Yeah. And the complaint about the movie was there were too many black people in it. And we said, and the one person asked, in the audience? And they said, no, in the movie. And they just laughed at him. Get the fuck out of here.
Anyway, yes, This is a high recommend from me. Supremely directed. The writing is on another level. The acting is incredible. And the biggest star of the movie really is the score and the music, man. So Ludwig Göransson, of all people, did the score for this. He did Oppenheimer, Tenet, Black Panther, but
Mandalorian.
He's so good at working into new and different things. This is just unbelievable. It's the score is unreal, easily the best score I've heard in years. And it looks incredible. The CGI that is used is not that noticeable. They build
nothing's totally over the top, is it?
Nope. They build this beautiful world. Everything looks great. Everything looks right. Excellent. I'm going to give it an A-2 only because I don't give out straight A's, but this is the closest thing we've had to one in quite a while, and my favorite movie I've seen.
Yeah, this is in the top 5 for the year for me because sneak preview of our year-end wrap-up. Superman made me feel a way that I didn't think I would be able to ever again.
Okay.
Superman was hopeful and bright, and when he argued with Lois about people were going to die, so he had to do something like that, just resonated. Like, you don't do it because it's acceptable or they say you can. You do it because it's the right thing to do. And I needed to hear that at that time. So Sinners might be 3 or 4 or 5, but it's not going to be 1 at this point. So
it might be for me. It might be. All right, moving on to a film that won't be number 1 on my list. 28 years later, directed by Danny Boyle and Alex Garland, the team that brought it to us originally. Let's take a listen to a trailer.
So many dead. Infected and non-infected alike.
That's why our home is so precious.
You know, I feel he's a bit young.
He's ready, Jenny.
7, 6, 11, 5.
Once you walk onto that mainland, there's no rescues.
Moving up and down again. Don't. Look at what's in front of you.
Let's go.
Pound the bullets and the bandoliers.
There are many kinds of death. And some are better than others.
This is a glorious day. A day of judgment.
My children!
There's no discharge in the war.
All right. 28 years later. Directed by Danny Boyle, who was the guy that did the original 28 Days Later. So returning to the franchise, and written by Alex Garland, who also wrote the original. 28 months later was the sequel, which we've all kind of agreed.
Weeks, right? Was it weeks?
Weeks, sorry, not months.
Okay.
The plan was originally to do it 28 months later, but so much time had surpassed that they then went to 28 years later. But 28 weeks later, we're all in kind of agreement, and as most of our listeners will be, it has like one of the greatest opening scenes in a horror ever made in a horror movie.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Rest
I
of the
think I
movie,
told you
sorry,
that too.
forgettable.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, no. Yeah. But the rest of the movie, completely forgettable.
It's got stupid people in it.
Yep.
Stupid characters, and it just pissed me off. The wife on the strapped to the table. I was done. I checked out at that point. I'm like, that's just the dumbest thing, and that is the meanest way to kill a character I had seen in a while. Yeah. Yeah. He was good. The actor, I forget his name, but he's in all that stuff where he plays a slimy guy, and he was a great slimy piece of shit in that. And they set his character up perfectly through that fantastic opening.
Yep.
And I think they might have tried to do half of that in this one. And I don't think it was as effective.
Yeah. So Danny Boyle obviously has become a very well-known director. Such films as Shallow Grave, Train Spotting, The Beach, obviously 28 Days Later, Sunshine.
Yep. I remember renting
Hours,
Shallow Grave when it first hit VHS.
Slumdog Millionaire.
Oh, yeah.
Yep. So he's become a very well-respected and well-renowned director over the years. And Alex Garland has worked on, everything.
Seen his name everywhere, yeah.
He wrote, and mostly best known as a writer, Ex Machina, Annihilation, Men, Civil War. Another one that's done, he worked on he's worked with Danny Boyle many times. He worked on The Beach. He worked on Sunshine.
Yeah.
He wrote Dread too, didn't he?
Yep. So good script. Exactly what it should have been.
Yep. In the cast here, you got some familiar faces. Aaron Taylor Johnson, probably the most familiar. Kim Allen.
I didn't recognize him at all.
Aaron
I don't
Taylor
know
Johnson?
Why. Yeah.
Oh, really? No, I recognized him right away.
Yeah, I must have been having a face problem between him and Haley. I had no idea.
At least you didn't confuse the two of them.
No, that would have been weird.
So the story for 28 years later, is we're 28 years after the original outbreak. We're told through text at the beginning of the film that the outbreak was able to be contained within the UK, and it was defeated in the rest of the world. So basically, the UK as an island is cordoned off,
which sounds really fucking stupid to me.
Dumb.
But me and 99 other people with rifles, dynamite, and shotguns could start at the top of England, work our way down, and in probably less than 28 years, we could have gotten all of them.
Well, and especially if you have the rest of the world come in.
Yeah, it almost that whole part makes it feel like, oh, poor us, nobody came to help England. Like Brexit. But seriously, that part is just, if it was Africa or LA or wide open spaces or spaces where a lot of them could be contained unknown, that's the East Coast, like from Mega City 1 area, from Boston to DC, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know. It just felt like unbelievable in a zombie movie, and I've never said that before.
Yep.
You can't get rid of a million people, a million running around bodies that answer when you make noise. They come to you.
Mm.
Just run a fucking tank over them. Like,
or just set up a wall of fire. You just you get all of the flamethrowers and you just continue to make noise and you just burn them all down as you go.
Yeah, it really says something about the British military in Boyle's eyes, doesn't it?
I agree. Anyway,
that part annoyed me. If it was 28 months later, sure. Yeah, you can't do it in that amount of time. But 28 years? Jesus Christ. That part pissed me off. That's why I didn't see it in the theater, because I'm like, there's no way. There's no way that anybody would let that happen. You would have thrill seekers and bounty hunters, and every fucking Punisher wannabe would head up there because they could shoot anything that moves. Mm. But what do I know? Go ahead.
So the idea is we are introduced to the people that live on this small, isolated island just off the coast of the UK. And during low tide, they've built a bridge. It's not, I don't think it's a natural, I think they designed it. Bridge that allows them, when the tide's down, to walk to the mainland, get supplies, do whatever they need to do, and then come back before the tide comes up.
No, it's a real place, and it says it's natural causeway.
Oh, okay.
Made a perfect location. So it's sort of this, almost like a sandbar that creates a walkway. And it's, I swear I've seen it in other stuff before, but I know I've had dreams where I get stuck on an island because the tides come back in. So I had seen it before this. But
there's
no, it's
places in Maine. There's a couple places in Maine that are like that too.
Yeah. And it's good because in a world where nothing is happening anymore, like, I don't mean nothing, I mean like the government in England isn't working and stuff, and you're just all on your own. Like, that's a good ticking clock. The tide, you cannot stop.
You have
the
4
rotation
hours
of the earth. Yeah,
so 4 hours before the tide comes in, and you can't let the tide come in and still try to make it because the
current,
the current will take you out to sea.
And I like that. That's because that would be my one answer. Where's the fucking boat?
Right.
Also, where is the fucking boat?
I don't know. It's 28 years later.
They should have had a boat. You know what? They should have had a boat attached like a Buckleberry Ferry in fucking Lord of the Rings, where you stand on this platform and you pull yourself across with a rope. Mm-hmm. Then the tide doesn't fucking matter.
Well,
and I don't think the dead would be smart enough to do that. And I know they're not dead and they're infected, but some motherfucker in this movie called them zombies. So what the fuck, dude? Sorry.
Done?
Yeah. I don't know.
I'll wait.
No, that's fine. I'm good.
So they do this rites of passage things with the people on the island. When they get to a certain age or they feel that they're ready, they go to the mainland to get their first kill to show that they are adept enough to be able to take out the infected if they need to, and go and gather supplies and stuff. It's actually, I mean, if you start to explore the deeper stuff like you just did, it falls apart very quickly. The whole thing doesn't really make a whole lot of sense when you start to pull at the strings. The whole thing starts to unravel. So you're better off not thinking about it.
That is
now
true.
that we said that, none of you are going to be able to watch it and not be like, well, why don't they do this?
Well, sorry, go ahead.
I can say there's a lot of, why didn't they do that? There's a lot of that.
Yeah. Yeah. But if you go into it thinking it's basically the mindset of an 80s, like Night of the Demons kind of thing, where it's like, just run from them. And that's it. They want to get you. And then that's part of it. That's like the first half, I feel. And then,
well, the first half of this movie is pretty good. I feel like the first half of it, when the two of them are first on the land, and Aaron is explaining to the kid Spike okay, so these ones are slow. These ones are slow movers. You don't have to worry about them. You can walk around them. These ones are fast movers.
Yeah.
You have to be able to protect yourself and defend yourself against the fast movers. They can run. And then when they are introduced to the alpha, which is, they essentially call it like, the virus gave them steroids or whatever because they're super strong and they're able to communicate with the other ones and they're able to move fast and they're really hard
smarter.
to kill. Yeah. Which is fine. All that is fine.
I guess, but this started off as angry rabies. Remember?
Yeah.
So I don't know. Saw the big guy and I'm like, how the fuck did that happen?
Yeah. Either way, it doesn't matter. Again, you start to pull the strings, shit falls apart. So the front half of this movie is the two of them going there. They get stuck overnight because there's an alpha and you can't fight an alpha. They're like, you can't. He says, I've seen an alpha take like 10 arrows and not go down. So don't.
Yeah, it's like a Terminator.
Yeah, or what was the big thing in Resident Evil that was like you can't fuck
tyrant?
Yeah, the tyrant. Like it's like that.
Bullet sponge.
Yeah, essentially. So they're forced to stay overnight and then they need to get out and they try to get out. So but there's
the thing's standing there watching them the whole time, waiting for them to come out.
Yeah, and
that
so
was the creepiest part.
Yeah, and they see a fire off in the distance, and Aaron Taylor-John's character kind of just like brushes it off, and you know there's something more to that.
Yeah,
the son's
because he's not good at brushing it off.
No, he's not at all. He's not a good person really either. You find out he's screwing around on the sick wife, and like he's got rage issue. He's just kind of an asshole.
Yeah, he's a bad dad.
So we do know that the wife is sick, and they don't know what to do to help her. So when they get back, they have this party for the kid for doing his first kill and making his way back. And he isn't really interested in it because the father kind of changes the story of like, oh, he went out there and he killed all these infected. And he didn't really, he was scared. He did all right. Like he was scared though. Like, which was fine. Like you should be scared. And so he's just kind of mad because the dad's kind of like, hey, he's the toughest of us all, blah, blah, blah. And like, whatever.
Right. So when you raise your kid to be honest, to tell the truth, be a good, upright person, and then you lie about them. Yeah. That's gonna fracture the kid's reality.
Right. So he goes back home and lays with the mother and then has a conversation with the grandfather and says how he saw this fire. And he's like, oh, you saw a doctor, whatever his name is. And he's like, doctor. Yeah. He's like, what do you mean? And he's like, oh, he used to be a doctor. And then he, blah, 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 blah. So now the kid's like, well, if there's a doctor and my mom's sick, like we gotta get to this doctor. I thought it was going to be, they were going to bring the doctor like to them.
Oh, to the island where it would have been a smarter thing to do.
Yeah. Instead, he takes his very sick mother on like a cross-country journey.
Yeah.
And sneaks her out after burning down a shed, which could have caused major, major problems. We don't know.
I was disappointed to see that he did that.
Yeah.
That kind of made him a little shitty.
I understood what his... Like, I get it. Your mom's sick. You don't want...
It's desperation.
Yeah. You're mad at your dad because your dad's an asshole and he's screwing around on her. And like, I get it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there's this whole overarching thing of like, the world that you live in, you have to do what's best for your community. And this is not what's best for your community.
Right. And don't put other people in danger. Don't involve them in your bullshit.
In hindsight, he totally like just does what's smart for him. He doesn't try to bring anyone back there, which would cause more problems, but in hindsight would have been easier. So I get it.
Yeah. Because really it's the father and the son that brought the wrong thing back to the village because the father panicked and didn't know what the fuck he was doing either.
Right. So either way,
I got a question.
Yeah.
This bugged me.
Yep.
Why didn't the kid know the different types of infected before he went out?
Plot device.
Okay, son.
Plot device.
See that one over there? What is that one? Oh, that's a crawler. They don't have the strength to get up, but they will chase you relentlessly until the end of all time. Like, that's it. You inform the audience by showing how informed your fucking character is.
Right.
If I took one of my kids out to hunt and I didn't tell them what a deer looked like their whole life, we got a lot of fucking way to go. Right? And they're shooting targets with their arrows. They're not shooting straw scarecrow people in the head or neck. They're just shooting a target. And I know for a fact, because I've read it, that when you are faced with an actual human, as a soldier, for instance, you miss more shots than you take. And that's why they practice, because adrenaline and everything else will take over. So the kid missing is not a surprise, especially when they weren't practicing on moving targets at all or anything. Like, I don't think this village was smart enough to survive.
The isolation is the only thing that they had going for them.
Yes.
That was really it.
Yeah, because they can keep everybody away.
Right, yeah. So he takes the mom out, sneaks her out, and then, they go through a number of things. They run into these Swiss border patrol guys that are supposed to be patrolling in their boat, but their boat sinks and they end up there and they all get killed. But we learn through that there's the rest of the world is moved on. He's got an iPhone and he's like saying things and the kid's like, I don't know what you're talking about.
Oh, that was perfect.
You never seen Chappelle's show or whatever? Like,
showing the girl, the woman with the Botox and the lip injections and everything. Like, that told the entire story of 28 years in one image. It was fantastic. Yeah. It's like, oh, they don't give a shit. That's what it is. What the fuck?
So I had a lot of issues with this movie. And I'm going to discuss two of them. One of them being the birth of the baby.
Yeah.
We'd seen how the already. Baby. What's that?
We'd seen that already. Yeah. Zack Snyder did it.
Oh, yeah. But so the baby's born. The baby isn't infected. But the supposedly, but the baby is super healthy.
Yeah. Which doesn't make any fucking sense because the mother wasn't getting any nutrients that would help a baby.
Right.
They say that the virus didn't pass through the
magic of the placenta.
Yeah, which no, babies are born addicted to crack and they have AIDS and all that stuff. This isn't some kind of magical disease that kills the entire world, but not this baby.
Well, and the other thing is the blood. Where does a child's blood come from?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, either way, stupid. And the other issue I had with this, because I'm talking with this about this movie, is the fucking way it looks. They tried to recreate that rough, grimy documentary style feel that they had in the original one.
Yeah, but they also wanted grand, awe-inspired, sweeping panoramic views and some really beautiful shots, honestly. But then they shoot one with an arrow and it cuts as the arrow hits the thing in the head and switches to another angle. Yours did that, right? It's not my brain.
Yep, it did it.
Jarring as hell. And I understand you're going for like the visceral memory of when you did it, how it felt. Like I fired the arrow, then it's in his head, nothing in between, whatever. Fine. But do it on all of them or none of them. Don't skip around. Yeah. There are a lot of style choices in editing that happened, but didn't happen consistently.
Yeah. So they do this thing where they filmed a lot of it on iPhone Pro Maxes with lens kits and stuff. So it wasn't like just like somebody holding an iPhone out there. I mean, this is not like you can't do this like every day, but like the iPhone still only has, some of the capabilities. So there's a bunch of stuff filmed on that, and you can tell the stuff that's filmed on that because it's got that fake cinematic look to it. And then a bunch of it was filmed on a Panasonic, I forget which model, but a Panasonic cinema camera that's a smaller handheld one that was released, I want to say in 2016. So it's not like a new camera, but it's not an old camera.
Okay.
So it's old in the sense of like there's been a bunch of really big things that have come out since then.
Is it 28 years old by any chance? Because I could see that.
I want to say 2016, 2017. So no. Like
okay.
Little
all right, because that would have been great. Let's film it using cameras that only existed back then.
That's what my next point was going to be. They should have filmed it the same way they filmed the original one then. Use the cameras the original one on.
If the story wasn't so intense in the original one, I never would watch it again because it looks like garbage now.
Yeah,
it looks like I rewatched it recently.
Shit. It looks bad. But with, the changes in gear since then. If you were to still use those old cameras, you could do it.
Yeah.
So that Panasonic camera, I've never shot with one, but you can get them used now for like between like probably like $2,500 and $5,000. So they're not an expensive camera.
Okay.
But they then also used a $30,000 DJI drone for a lot of shots.
Those shots look really nice.
Yeah, the drone shots look great, but the problem is the rest of the film doesn't.
Yeah.
So it's very jarring to see this very weird, fake looking iPhone footage, this decent but not state-of-the-art cinema footage, and then this like crystal clear expensive drone footage. Now I know like $35,000-$40,000 for the DJI Inspire, depending on which lens kit you use with it, is not the most expensive of drones, but that's an expensive drone. My drone costs $500.
Okay.
Just to give you, actually, no, I'm sorry. It cost $800 when I bought it. It's now you can buy it for under $500 because it's 3 or 4 years old.
Okay. Gotcha.
But the DJI Inspire is like the near top of the line drone. So I just don't understand using iPhones. And I get that they did this thing where they wired them together so that they could get a number of angles, and everyone's seen that picture of the zombie with the phones around him. And then they didn't use a newer, more state-of-the-art cinema camera, but also not a cinema camera that makes sense in their timeline that they're used. Like, none of it made sense to me. And I'm now like, I'm cursed with the fact that when I start to see that stuff, I can't unsee it.
Yeah. Yeah. That's the tough part about that. You will notice, like, anytime they showed a projection booth, I'm like, I'm out. Fuck this.
Well, you noticed it too when you're not as like, I'm not saying that you don't know your way around a camera, because you do, but like, you noticed it, right?
I notice the image. I don't necessarily know what it's from, but I can tell when it changes resolution or whatever lens, but I don't know about the lenses as much as you do to be able to, but I can tell the difference between different types of footage, like what it's shot on. Did you
notice the fringing on the corners?
I noticed stuff that was supposed to look like almost like vignetting, but
the fringing on the corners.
Oh, is that what that's called? Okay, because in art.
So basically, what that is they're using a lens or a speed booster or something on the lens that doesn't match the camera, and it can be an aesthetically cool looking thing if you do it right. So, for example, if they done it on all of the shots and that's what the movie looked like, okay. That's a decision. That's an artistic decision that you made, but only on the handheld cinema camera shots is the only time it really shows up. So I'm like, okay, but now it all just looks different. Which is fine if you're making a documentary or you're making something like that where or you're making VHS or a found footage film where you are setting your world that you're using different cameras to shoot.
Yeah, I'm going to tell you a real quick story and I'm going to abbreviate it a lot. So, sometimes when we have a scratched film at the old 20 screen theater, we have no choice but to run it because 100 people are there or whatever. And we ran, I forget, some comedy. It might have been Super Troopers.
It was Juana Man.
Yeah. Well, it's the same theater, same auditorium. And it was scratched. It had a green line running solidly through the whole film about... On the screen, it would be about 2 feet in from the right-hand side. And after the show, we apologized, gave them passes, and they said, I didn't even see a green line. It's like, how the fuck can you not? So, I think sometimes people bank on no one's going to notice this. And the people that notice it are going to be those autistic, hyper-focused assholes that do podcasts. And that's fine. We can deal with them. But yeah, that's my guess is they figure they can get away with stuff. I don't know.
So, I definitely didn't really like this. And
the story they told was not engaging.
It wasn't enough. It wasn't deep enough. And what I've gathered is that there is a sequel of this coming out early next year.
The Bone Cathedral.
Yeah, which is set up at the end of it. And I think I was talking with Scott about this too, whereas like they made them back to back. They made them at the same time. So maybe they need to be watched together to really give that full feel. And this wasn't an overly long flick. It was over 90 minutes, but it was under 2 hours. But yeah, so maybe, I don't know, maybe that'll add to it. But like what I wanted from a 28 years later, I wanted something bigger. Maybe
you didn't want England to have given up.
Yeah, that's right. And it felt like they gave up on the sequel too in the second half of it. Like halfway through, after he comes back, and then decides he's going to take the mother to the doctor. And I did like the doctor character. Was that Ray Fiennes? Was that who that was?
Yeah. I like that he wasn't evil in this one.
No, and I like that he did a good job. He did a good job in it. And like the heartfelt moments with the mom when you figure out what, her sickness is and like that, like that worked. But like overall, the whole second half of the movie just did nothing for me.
Yeah. No, it was for a zombie movie, because that's what they called them. It was kind of boring. Like, who gives a shit?
It was funny though that the outsider was the one that called them zombies. Yeah. The guy that hasn't lived with it for the last 28 years. Like he was the Swiss guy who came in and was just doing his job. And
also wasn't he like 20 or something? So like he would have been born into it.
Yeah.
And not been there for the outbreak, which we saw another angle of the outbreak in the very opening to this.
Yeah. So
I don't like where that's going either.
Yeah. All right. Well. All right, Chris, do you recommend, and what is your grade for 28 years later?
I don't know if I can recommend it or not. I mean, I like the first one in the series. The second one had some nice action stuff, and then it felt like they kind of went off the rails a little bit with the helicopter mowing scene. But that's the level you left us at. And then you give us this quiet story about a kid having a hard time. Like I said, this is a mediocre drama with zombies in it to make it more interesting. So I'm going to give it a D+. I did not like it. It felt like a chore. Although the one thing that I have suggested to my wife, like when we watch Walking Dead or anything where zombies have been around for like a year or more, I'm like, why the fuck do these people still have clothes that are on their bodies? Like, this doesn't make sense. There are a lot of naked zombies in this, which does make sense. Uncomfortable as fuck to watch, but I mean, your clothes would rot off eventually. The pregnant one had like this open like house coat kind of thing, and that wouldn't get worn as badly. I can understand. So she's still got that on.
And also with the pregnant woman, there's the whole fucking, you start opening up and you're like, so the infected still want to have sex?
Yeah.
The infected can still have sex?
How long ago was she infected? How long has that baby been inside of her? What got her pregnant? Yeah.
Right. Like there's
too many
answer
questions.
To any of those questions.
If the baby came out infected, then she's had that baby inside her the whole time for 28 years.
Who knows?
That would have been gross. That would have been really something to think about. But
either way.
Yeah, no.
All right.
There's no good answer for that.
Yeah. So you gave it a D+?
Yeah, for now.
I'm going to recommend it only in that if you've seen the other two and you want to keep watching the series and see what they're doing with the world, then watch it. But I did not like it.
Did you watch this before or after Sinners?
I watched it first, which made Sinners even better.
Ah, okay. I watched it second, which made this worse.
So either way, I'll give it a C-. Based on the world that they've built. And I thought the first half of it was good. And I would have rathered, I think, the entire film been them trying to survive and get back than bringing the mother to the doctor. Because it's essentially like two films put together almost.
Yeah. But not skillfully like Sinners.
Not skillfully, no. No.
Which is sad because he does make good movies.
And then also the issue with they set it up that once that tide comes in, you go out that door, no one's coming after you. But the idea that they never even go back to the island and show the reaction, the father being like, I have to get out there and I have to find my son, or like you don't see them again until they come back.
Yeah.
So either way, C- borderline D+, not good. Not good. Okay, speaking of not good, Joe's off this week, but we're going to go straight to Reverend Scott since we're going long anyway. Here is Holy Shit with Reverend Scott. Did you hear that? What's that? Did you see something? What's going on?
Nah, man, I didn't hear nothing.
I must be paranoid.
Most likely. Most likely.
Excuse me.
Holy shit with Reverend Scott.
No girls allowed. So unnerving.
Yeah.
Good evening, Bill and Chris. This is Count Reverend Scott.
He's a goat man.
Don't worry, guys. That was just a pretend Count voice. And I'm just wearing my really scary, realistic werewolves versus strippers costume for Halloween this year. Hard to believe it's that scary-ass time of the year yet again, which also means Bill's documentary Don't Forget to Leave was released on Hoopla already. So, Bill, do you have any tantalizing info to tell us about your next new movie?
Final Cut Pro has free templates in it. And I'm going to use them and make it seem more arty.
You heard it here first, folks. Bill knows all the movie magic secrets.
Obviously. I know too much about things that people don't care about.
Bill is certainly stepping up his game, but the real question is, did the makers of The Black Phone 2 step up their game? Well, you'll just have to wait to find out, but it's actually not the only spooky Halloween instant classic sequel that I saw this year. I also watched Megan 2.0, unrated, on Peacock, The Cock. The story of a killer robot that returns to actually help the people that were victims from the first movie to protect against an even more advanced killer robot. But the old robot isn't allowed to kill anyone this time, all while trying to prevent an advanced AI from being released on the world to kill or enslave everyone. And sure, that may sound like the plot of Terminator 2, but in this one, the robots are all girls. And in one scene, she says, "Hold on to your vagina." So it's way different.
That actually helped me get into it a little more.
But it's about as fun as the first Megan, if you thought that one was fun, and I did. Lots of fun horror, and watching both together wouldn't really be that bad of a double feature. As far as fun horror flicks go, I give it a B.
Fun!
As for Ethan Hawke returning as the Grabber in The Black Phone 2, I know what you're saying already. Didn't they kill that dude in the first one? And to that I say, whoa, spoiler alert.
Sorry, Scott.
And also, yes, they did. But then again, most of the kids that Finney Blake interacts with in part 1 are also already dead. Like the trailer says, death is only a word. So, the Grabber is back.
Good for him. Not judging him. Good for him.
No.
But Mason Thames, the original Finney, and Hiccup from the live-action How to Train Your Dragon, has also returned. But the best news is a lot of this sequel story surrounds Finney's younger sister, Gwen. If you don't already know, she was the best part of the first film.
I'm going to ask you again. How did you know about the balloon?
What aren't you telling us, Gwen?
Either there's a leak in the department
Or what? I'm the Grabber?
No.
You think I kidnapped Vance Hopper last spring? Is that it? Vance got held back twice. I've seen him fight, and trust me, he could kick the shit out of either of you, blindfolded.
Gwen, watch your language.
Yeah, I took him down, because obviously I'm the Grabber, you dumb fucking fart knockers.
Gwendolyn Blake!
As far as I'm concerned, she's also the best part of this film, too. It's been 4 years since the last one, at least in movie time. Maybe in real life, too. I don't know. I didn't check. And the visions and her dreams that she had in the first film are back, and they're stronger than ever now. She's seeing visions of murders that happened at this lake camp back in the 50s. During one of those dreams, a black phone in a booth by the lake rings, and the voice on the other side is none other than Hope, Gwen's own dead mother. I know it's still early in the story at this point, but you should keep that in the back of your mind.
It means nothing, but it means everything.
Now, if you know kids in horror movies, you know that Gwen can't just let all this go. So her, Finney, and some other kid travel to the lake camp. It's not like Finney had that much going on besides abusing drugs and alcohol to avoid dealing with his childhood trauma from the first film.
Yeah, we're just getting through the week.
Cool.
And totally unrelated to another horror at a camp lake, Finney gets a call on the black phone from the dead grabber, and bro is pissed. He blames Finney for all of the events at the end of part 1 and vows to get revenge. Finney is like,
Uh-oh is right. For once, it's not my fault.
It doesn't take long for the grabber to enter Gwen's dreams. Totally unrelated to another horror movie where a killer attacks you in your dreams.
Interesting, but it isn't.
Yeah.
Pretty quickly, the trio figures out where the missing bodies surrounding the murders at this lake are hidden, but the lake is frozen, and the grabber is now somehow able to attack Gwen even in her dreams. At least I think that was all really happening.
Or something, who knows?
The grabber is nice enough to divulge some shocking information about Gwen and Finney's mom, and it even motivates someone they didn't expect to join them at the lake camp during a snowstorm. This all leads to a pretty amazing sequence on the frozen lake with the grabber causing a lot of blood on the ice. I don't want to give away too many details about what happens in this film. I don't want to spoil everything. Just be rest assured that this movie is not...
It's a bunch of nothing fucking happening for 45 minutes and then everybody runs at the end.
I was actually pretty excited to see Black Phone 2. So much so that I actually rewatched part 1 the night before I went to go see it. Part 1 definitely holds up and still builds to a very satisfying ending like I remembered it did. And part 2 expands on some things, opens up the lore a bit, and continues the story, tying up some loose ends and resolving some character conflicts. But is it as strong as part 1? I'm not so sure about that.
Do you think?
I'm sorry.
Are you sorry, though?
Yeah.
I certainly wanted to see more of a build to the ending similar to part 1. There's plenty of excitement and payoff that's worth your time, so while it's not quite as strong as part 1, it's different enough to be worth your time and an interesting extension to the Black Phone cinematic universe. So if you enjoyed Black Phone 1, then I recommend part 2, and I give Black Phone 2 a B+. So that's all I'm gonna spook you with this season with what I watched, but quickly, how did you guys do last week? Well, you talked about werewolves versus strippers, remember my costume? And Chris got so into this instant cult classic that he literally transformed into a wolf man.
He's getting all hot and bothered.
Yeah.
Because the way she's swaying her hips and moving her breastises are getting him hairy under the collar. Because he's a werewolf, Chris. He's a werewolf, right?
Yeah.
Wow, how exciting. Can't wait to not watch that one, so I give Werewolves vs. Strippers a C-, and the review gets a B. And lastly, we have a review of paint drying. Oops, I mean Classroom 6.
I get those two confused, but whatever.
Sounded terrible. I hate it already, and I'll probably watch it. I give it a D+, and the review gets a B+. Congrats. Well, that's all I got this week. I hope you have a spooktacular Halloween, and until the next time an already dead killer calls you on a payphone by a camp lake, peace and love, guys. Outside the Cinema with Bill and Chris.
It's about rubbing up against the machine.
It's like jerking the machine off, I see.
Yep, sucking the boot. Oh, wait, we went in the opposite direction.
Oops.
Damn it.
Boogity boo. All right, guys, that does it for us this week. Feel free to join our Patreon at patreon.com/outside the cinema. Follow Chris and I at OTC Bill, at Cthulhu. Head over to Hoopla. If you have that service, it is free with a library card. Hoopla Digital, I believe, is the thing, but you can just look it up. And go to spectopiaarts.com to grab all of Chris's cool little paints.
Yep, paints and hants, and we actually have one called Hant, and I'll explain that on the next show.
Sounds good. Everyone have a good Halloween. Be safe out there.
Yeah, bye.
We'll talk to you soon.